officer booth with Wyatt Werneth. What's going on here at DEMA?
Well, we're actually rolling out, this is the first year Aqualung is introducing the rapid diver. We had a chronic issue across the United States where 400 people lost their lives last year in submerged vehicles or capsized vessels. And what has happened is the first responders show up on scene and they're waiting on a traditional dive team that takes about, on average, 45 minutes to roll out. So hence the name Rapid Diver. This is a compact scuba apparatus that you can put in a kit and have it on in less than 13 seconds in the water when seconds count to make a rescue out of a victim in a vehicle or a capsized vessel. Now you're actually giving that first responder a piece of equipment that he can go into the water. It's first a PFD, so if he has to surface swim, he can inflate and swim on the surface. Secondary, if he has to submerge under the water to make a grab, he has a scuba system. He has a full face protection, also a helmet, headgear. You're in an overhead obstruction environment where you can bang your head very easily. We also feature a low air alarm. If you're operating under the rule of thirds, the only way to traditionally look at that is to figure it up and look at where you're going to be when you need to back out. This is an audible alarm that sounds off and lets you know that it's time to back out. We also feature a RIT kit, a Rapid Intervention Team kit. We have a topside 90% diver that's standing by to rescue the rescuer if he gets in trouble. And what ties all that together is if the guy's in trouble, he pulls the cord and he puts it in a QD into this gas quick disconnect.
Okay, sorry.
It goes into this, and this is a gas block, a switch gas block. It'll transfer the air from the primary tank to the secondary tank as a backup. Secondary, this is a stackable kit that is advanced to search and recovery, where not only is your first stage being a rescue unit, now you go into second stage, you can put an 80, a traditional 80 on the back. So this will extend your dive capabilities. Not only do you have the 80, but you also have the integrated 30 now that actually gives you more air. With that, this is made out of a 2000 denier ballistic material. If you're on the ground and swimming around the bottom doing a search and things are popping up out of the ground, this is a barrier where you don't have that with a traditional wraparound or a back mount. Also, you have here this belt that's integrated that holds the RIT kit. And the really wonderful thing about this is that all of the kit will fit in a Pelican case that you can store on deck of your boat, in the back of your trunk, or in the compartment of a fire truck and be ready to go. We also here at Bauer provide training for this specific equipment that is not available anywhere else except through me as the subject matter expert and instructor, one and only, for the rapid divers.
Did you say before about something about this has more lift capability too?
I didn't mention that. Okay, yes.
Did you? I didn't know.
Repeat just in case.
Just make sure.
One of the most important features of a rescue apparatus is the fact that it has 50 pounds of lift opposed to your standard traditional rescue BCs who have about 27. And the reason for that is if I grab a victim who does not have a BC on, I have to take him to the surface and maintain buoyancy as well as keep the head above water, and 50 pounds of lift is going to allow me and the victim on the surface with no problem. And the fact that it's chest mounted keeps the airway open. All the others that you are familiar with are back mounted or side, and it's going to push the victim down into the water unless you put them on your back.
That's cool. All right, well, thanks for your time and have a good show.
Excellent, thank you for stopping by.
Turns out we moved to a different part of the Bauer booth. Why are we over here right now?
Well, this again is the Public Safety Initiative by Bauer. We're extending our reach to the public safety community. And what we have here is like no other, is we are incorporating the first aid care. This is Gritty Gear, which is designed for, it's an advanced medical kit. It's not your traditional Band-Aids and aspirin, it's a trauma center. What we experienced with the public safety sector is you have professionals who are trained as EMTs perhaps, or at the basic level first responder. So they know how to use this. They have tourniquets, which you're not usually going to find in a typical. They have a quick clot, which you're not going to find. These are things that come right out of the military arsenal. And so what we've done here is with Gritty Gear is we put that all in very accessible packages that supplement in this experience with a diver who's going to a scene and he pulls out a victim and they have some type of a trauma. We now have the gear An extensive gear is using the Boston kit, which has a little bit more stuff. You have chem lights, is something people don't think about, to be able to identify where you're at, where the victim is when you have help arrive. There's a small light there, you can see where to go in the dark. People aren't thinking of it. And like again, reiterating the tourniquets are something that all law enforcement are trained in and required to have. If you can imagine a gunshot wound, you have to stop the bleeding immediately. Nothing in a traditional first aid kit can do that. Then you have your smaller kits, your solid kits. You still, again, check out, you have your chem lights, again, a very important factor. You still have your tourniquets involved in this, which your tourniquets are in the front. These are your basic weapons keepers that they incorporate in here to keep this out in case you were running. And they also put the gloves in the front ready to go rather than inside the bag, because the first thing you want to put on is your gloves. And then you go into work and get your stuff out of the kit. So this is a very innovative, to us, an aggressive approach to what we're doing with our initiative, and that is we're trying to incorporate everything that we can imagine in kit form, that when those first responders arrive on scene, they're prepared to go, and that Bauer is the answer. We can actually provide and give you guidance on everything that you need, from obviously the compressors to get the air in the tanks, to go out to make the rescues, to bring the victim to the surface, and then package them up and get them ready for the hospital.
Wow, came a long way. All right, thanks. All right, have a good show, and we'll look forward to see where Bauer goes next.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.